Okay, Sally Steele with VegasRocksTV.com. We're backstage with the Slaughter guys here. We got Mark Slaughter. We've got handsome Dana Strum here.
Here I am, yeah.
How you doing, Mark?
Doing great. Doing great. How are you?
I've known you guys for, 30 years?
Literally.
A few years.
30
A few years. Yeah, exactly.
I thought,
We're all still alive.
yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I thought, I've got to do a video interview. I'm here today with my equipment. And just a few questions, what you guys have been up to. Now, my first question is like, when you hit it big in 89, 90, whenever it was, did you think that, and then all of a sudden the 80s music was over. Did you guys think, well, do I still have a career? I mean, you're still here. So.
I think it's one of those things, a lot of bands stop touring and we continue to tour. I think this is what we do. It's a natural process for us, what we do. We're a tiger that never changed the stripes. We just, always did what we did.
Still out there and everything. What about...
Our biggest thing was you got to be who you are. And we were big lovers of a lot of bands, from Black Sabbath to Led Zeppelin to AC/DC. And if any one of those bands didn't sound like their band, I don't know why anybody's there. So for us, we went through those lean times driving vans and driving rental cars and playing places.
It wasn't pretty.
But we kept playing and we played the songs that we believed in. And what's funny is many of those came back around. And here we sit today playing those songs.
Yeah.
We're lucky we ever had them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, are you doing any other, got any other albums come out? I know you have your solo thing. What's
the solo stuff? Yeah, for the most part. It really is about art for making art more than it is really a money-making situation. Playing music live is what we love to do. And even if I had some new music and brought it out here, it would be, with the band even, people really don't care. They still want to hear the hits that they know. It's more of remember when. And, we're not running away from that. We know where we came from, and we also know that people want to hear those hits.
If you saw guys from the Beatles playing, or if you saw Led Zeppelin finally does this reunion, everybody in their mind has the set list. Whole Lot of Love, Stairway to Heaven, Heartbreaker. They already made it up in their mind.
These are the ones I
want to hear. I want to hear because these are the ones I love. And instead of running away like, that sucked, why does it suck if people loved what you did? No matter what group you are, every group out there has songs that people love that you did, then do them.
Right.
And don't run away from them.
And we're not running away. And I mean, look, we only get about an hour to play anyway. And if we play, we still have to leave a couple of our hits off on that side of it because there's not enough time. But still, we try to entertain. We try to make it as energetic as possible. And it's one thing about this band is we never lost that side of it. We still have a love to go out there and, and kick some ass for sure.
I can't believe that your voice is still so strong after all these years. You still hit the high notes, everything.
Yeah, I still do what I do. I have lived a very clean life, and again, I think it's the dryness of Las Vegas has kept me young.
Well, that's good. Now, with your solo thing, now was that, for people that don't know, was that kind of a crossover, like kind of the Steven Tyler thing?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. When I did all that stuff, I was writing songs, and I had enough for a collection of music, and I just put it out there because, again, an artist makes an art. That's what you do. I just go out there and make songs. I go home and write, and I am excited about new guitars and new things. It's just what I do. It's almost like a hobby that I never fell out of love with. So I still do it.
There's never a time where I don't call Mark and there's not a guitar in the background. There's always something in the background. He's playing. I mean, that's what he enjoys to do. There's how great is it that somebody that picked up the guitar when they were young still actually likes to do that? Mm-hmm. The truth is, when we're all out there, everybody can rewind the clock and be the kid that you once were. Mm-hmm. And that's what a great thing to do. What a terrible thing to do to make people happy for a living. And right. That's everybody's job. Everybody in the entertainment business's job is to go be a stupid entertainer and make people happy for a living. What a great job.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know after all these years, the most about Slaughter that they might not know?
Oh, we're thankful.
Yeah, exactly. I say thankful, and the other side of it is we every time we play shows, we look at it with a thankful heart. We look at it as we enjoy it. It's not like something that we're just clocking in. A lot of people, it's almost like a job that they're clocking in. For us, it never is. We just go out there and do it.
It's fun to be amazed, and I think that both of us that wrote it, created it, recorded it, are amazed that something that you do in a small room under circumstances that don't seem like it's ever going to work out actually not only lasts the test of time, but that brings people a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. And again, what a great job to make people feel good and feel happy. And it's different. There are many bands where those people didn't make that stuff up, but we did. So when we play it and hear it, and you see somebody singing or lipping along or dancing along, you're like, how lucky are we that something we made up in a little crappy room, almost 30 years later, brings people a lot of happiness. And with everything going on in the world, how lucky are we?
We're the only band from our genre that wrote, produced, and still perform our own music. I mean, it's not us doing a song that somebody else wrote. So I think it's a little closer to home, and in that side of it, we look at our statements, we know what the people are listening to, and we take note. We try to play those songs for that reason,
This is a question I asked Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, because you guys are you talk every day, you're the unit to Slaughter. Now, I asked them, like, if something happened to you or Gene, would the band still go on? So something happened to one of you.
Answer that. You can't do Slaughter without Mark Slaughter. And it's very simple. When Mark Slaughter decides he doesn't want to sing Slaughter music anymore, it's done. It's that simple. It's done. You wouldn't do it. It was not only a namesake, but it's a style sake, and it's a vibe sake. Somebody says, "Look, man, I don't want to." Then you know what? Thanks for all the great years. I'll still talk to you. Okay.
It's just that's the thing with Dana and I think that first and foremost, when we started the band out of the VVI thing, we were friends first. And I think that's the key point to have longevity in any side of it. And that's, I think, what carries into the music and to the performance.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is really different, because we recorded under such bizarre, and where we came from. We started with a guy that people looked up to that was from KISS. We ended up doing our own thing, going on the KISS tour, and made our own way. And because we came from that weird place, we were appreciative of that weird place. So no matter what, there could be a moment or two. I don't think there's ever been a show where one of the two of us, or both, or even Bloss, when he plays with Trans-Siberian Orchestra right now, doesn't close his eyes for a minute and think, how fortunate we are, how lucky we are, that this many years later, people even accept us doing this stuff. Right. It's like, you couldn't get any luckier, because there's so many great entertainers, and the rug gets pulled out from under them, and they never do play again. Or there's great musicians, and they're all over in clubs all over the place. And you're like, God, look how good that guy is. But it never really happens, never really works. So to know how lucky you are, and I know we do, there's kind of no better feeling. And so for us, yeah, if somebody says no, hey, you know what? Nobody said when we recorded that first song, what's going to happen in 5 years? Nobody even asked that question.
Yeah, we don't even think about it. I think the key point even right now is just to go out and really just keep delivering the music that we started with almost 30 years ago. Actually, it is 30 years ago.
30.
But the truth of the matter is it wasn't released 30. But at this point, yeah, it was 30 years ago.
It was recorded 30 years ago, and if you said to each other or anybody that listened, so guys, talk about 10 years from now, you'd say, go to hell. Yeah, how about 20 years from now? Like, we're dead.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen?
Definitely dead and gone,
Speaking of the past, did you ever talk to Vinnie?
Never. We did our last show with him in '88 and never spoke to him again or wrote a letter. We did get his bankruptcy notices saying that he wasn't going to pay us. That was about it.
After that song you wrote,
Yeah, that was about it. Well, a few of them.
You got the last word, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got a few.
Yeah.
Well, we're so happy that you're back in Vegas and still out there.
The greatest thing about our history was the KISS tour itself propelling Slaughter into millions of records sold, which was all we dreamt of. And the greatest thing was to work with a remnant offshoot of that group and end up being successful in the end, partially because of that group. So we're thankful to them, and it's just a wild story. Very few people could ever tell that story.
Indeed.
Well, we're proud of you, and thanks for coming back to Vegas.
you.
And
Always great to be in
yeah,
Vegas.
Proud to be
yeah.
from Vegas.
All right.
And
We were in
Frank
Vegas.
Sinatra's room. Here we go. Frankie's room.
We were in Vegas when it wasn't popular to be in Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys live in Vegas? How could you do that? I mean,
waste of
everybody asks
time.
us. Yeah, exactly. But it's really cool. It was funny.
Thanks for the years.
Yeah. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Dana.
Good
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Sally Steele, Vegas Rocks TV. See you next time.